In the 1920s and 30s, Art Deco style influenced everything from art, architecture, and furnishings, automobiles, and boats, to the small personal objects that are part of everyday life. It is with these objects, cigarette cases and lighters, powder compacts, minaudières, cosmetics accessories, watches, and jewelry, that this book is concerned. They represented the height of fashion during those heady decades, and demonstrated the excitement and modernity of the age. Today, these objects are much sought after by collectors. It is still possible to find wonderful and affordable pieces at antique shops and fairs throughout Europe and America, and small deco objects can be seen in major museums all over the world. There is even a museum in Japan devoted exclusively to work produced at the Bauhaus. The height of the Art Deco period occurs from 1920 until the end of the Second World War. In the 1920s, much of the work was produced in France and in Europe, but by the end of the decade there was considerable interest in the United States, fueled by the emergence of the first generation of American industrial designers. The continuing development of manufacturing that had begun during the previous century marked the beginning of cooperation between designers and manufacturers. The aim was to produce goods that were not only fit for purpose, but were also good to look at and efficient to use. From the 1920s, beautifully designed and well-made objects became widely available for the first time. The British art historian and writer Bevis Hillier has noted that this cooperation revolutionized the design and quality of mass-manufactured goods, later described by the American writer and connoisseur Jared Goss as the democratization of design. Art Deco is often regarded as the successor to Art Nouveau, and while it was certainly a reaction against the excesses of the latter, with its elaborate detail and ornamentation, artists and designers had already been producing work that was both linear and architectural. As the 20th century approached, Art Nouveau fell out of fashion. By 1920, in the aftermath of the First World War, the people were ready to embrace Art Deco with its new, clean designs and abundance of small objects, which rapidly became essential accoutrements in society. The highly influential Paris Exposition in 1925 was open to all whose product is artistic in character and shows clearly modern tendencies. The exhibition was originally intended to honor the Allies of the First World War, having been planned some years earlier. Many European countries did exhibit, and the fair was visited by some 16 million people. The objects illustrated in these pages are, with one or two exceptions, made from polished, gilded or plated metal or silver, and are all enameled, lacquered or painted with abstract modernist designs. There are many beautiful manufactured pieces of modest value, as well as examples of rare and unique work made by the leading French designers and jewelers of the day. The designs reflect the influence of modernism, which itself derived from the work of artists ranging from Russian constructivists to cubists, futurists, and proponents of the Bauhaus. While its immediate and more flamboyant predecessor Art Nouveau was a style unto itself, thriving for a limited time, the influence of Art Deco was lasting and significant, and was felt across architecture and design. Almost a century later, these companies are still at the forefront of luxury fashion and design. The quality of the designs has ensured that Deco is now widely collected. It is in the realm of collectible objects that Art Deco has proved supreme. Despite this, little has been written about the style's small objects until now. This book provides a unique and comprehensive look at the many designs that, although now nearly a century old, are still regarded as classics of modern design.